Hello there. Welcome to Stampin' All Day with Bev. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see, am I backwards? Let me see here. I can't tell. Nope, I'm not backwards. Okay. I just didn't know. Let's move this way. Nope, I'm out of camera. There we go. There we go. Want to see that you sprinkle because that is how I grow. Hello, oh, hi, Roz. How are you? I see numbers coming up. Happy Sunday night. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful weekend and a great Sunday especially. Hey, Karen. Welcome, everybody. Hi, Melody. I'm good. I'm really, really good. Hello, Carol. Hi, Lori. Oh, my friends are all walking in. Thank you. Hello, crafty friends, Ross says. I am so glad you're all here. Hi, Andrea. It's been a wonderful Sunday. Very, very good morning service. And have a funny story I'll tell you real quick. One of my best friends, well, she's my middle daughter's godmother, and we attend the same church. And her son, who's a full-grown man, was out front of the church talking to a couple other men. And I walked up with my husband, and he says, hi, Debbie. And I didn't want to embarrass him. He really didn't know me very well as he was growing up. He's known me more a little bit through his mom now. And I just said hi. And then when we went into the church, Ken goes, he called you Debbie. And I said, I know, but that's okay. And so then we're sitting there waiting for service to start, and somebody pats me on the shoulder from behind. And it's him. And he says, I am so sorry, Beverlee. I called you Debbie. And I just giggled. I said, that's okay. He goes, do you know why I called you Debbie? Hi, Stephanie. And I said, no, I don't. And he goes, because your cousin Debbie was my nursery school teacher. And when I saw you, I thought of Debbie. And I said, oh, that's okay. That's okay. So then we talked about nursery school and this and that and the other thing. Service started. Service was over. And we were shaking hands and hugging and everything and getting ready to leave. And my husband says, now that's your friend Marcia's son, right? What's his name? And I said, Billy. Well, Marcia has 5 sons. And that's not Billy, that's Ricky. So then I said, I forget how, I introduced him. I said, Billy, right? And he goes, no, Ricky. I said, okay, we're even. You called me Debbie. Now I'm calling you your brother's name. Oh my gosh, we just laughed so hard. So anyway, Ricky, I will never forget Ricky's name now. I said, Ricky, I didn't really know you growing up. I knew his older 2 brothers and I knew his little brother, but him I didn't know too well. So now his name is going to stick in my head forever. But it's so funny because now jokingly, he'll probably call me Debbie and I'll probably call him Billy. So anyway, and then I came home and just had a nice casual day here today. It was my day off of walking. So I found out that I need to rest, otherwise my feet get really, really sore. So today was a rest day, and that was about it. It is 7 o'clock, so enough of my small talk, and you're here to see the project that I've created for this live. I am using Storybook, what's it called? Friends. Storybook Friends. It is the cutest darn set. I love it. Hi, Brenda. I love it. I love it. I love it. So we're just going to jump right into the card that I'm making for tonight. Let me turn you down. Hey, Marie. Turn you down. Turn you around. One more. Go. Hi, Patty. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, it's Patsy. Patsy, I think you're new. Hello, Vicky. Uh-oh. It's not what I meant to do. You guys know what I'm trying to do. There we go. I want to be close today. It's going to be difficult for the cut and boss machine, but I want to be close because I'm going to do a little coloring. Hello, we are all finally getting some cold weather. I'll have to read that comment later because my phone is in the way. Snowy Illinois. Oh my goodness. It's just chilly here, but nothing like you guys get. I know us Californians really don't know what cold is, but I've been watching the news, and I'm so glad that my grandson is back on the West Coast because it's so cold on the East Coast, and he would have been out. Oh my goodness. Now he's getting a lot of rain because he's in Oregon, but that's okay. Hi, Bev. Okay, I hope you can stay awake tonight too, but I know how late it is there for you, Bev, so if you fall asleep, I won't be offended. I know it's not because I hope it's not because I was boring. It's because it's late, and you can watch a replay tomorrow. So welcome to Stampin' All Day with Bev. I am your host, Beverlee Morales, and I live in Tracy, California. Thank you for being here tonight. I want to share with you my January host code. It's right there. If you decide to place an order with me this month and it's under $150, hi Lori, then you can use that host code, and that will connect you to me, and Stampin' Up! Will give me some rewards at the end of the month for all those host codes, orders that had a host code attached to them. Where can you shop with me? Right here at beverleystamps.stampinup.net, and you can also watch my replays on YouTube. My channel is just my name, and my email is mofun44@icloud.com. If you want to talk to me, if you want to make sure I see your message, please email me. I don't really check Messenger that often. You can text me as well if you know my phone number, but email's probably the fastest. Okay, here we go with the product I used for today's live. Hi, Pamela. So nice to see you here. Storybook Friends, as I just mentioned, and there is the code, and it's in the new mini catalog. Document the day, and there is the code. And I wrote a new mini catalog, but actually it is a celebration item. Sorry about that. Hey, Faith, I'm glad you're here. You'll know why in a minute. Papers Basic Beige is the cardstock I used, and I have to tell you, that's in the annual catalog, but I have to tell you, I have had more people lately say, what is that beige color? Hi, Debbie. I love it, I love it, I love it. It's becoming a favorite of so many people. Basic Beige, if you don't have it, that should be on your list. Timeless Plaid, 6x6 Designer Series paper, also new in the new mini catalog. I'm going to play with that today. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it. And you talk about papers that you're going to want for masculine cards. That is one of them. I'm using Memento Black ink, Boho Blue stamp pad, a variety of blends, and they're on pages 131 through 135, and then the neutrals are all on page, the neutrals are on page 131, and all the rest of them are on pages 135 through 139. Well, that was a mouthful. And then the tools I used was the bow punch, the paper trimmer, the cut and emboss machine, my snips to take your pick tool, and my bone folder. Also, I used embellishments, the 2325 in color jute trim, and the antique pearls, which are in the new mini catalog, and Wink of Stella, which is in the annual catalog. Wink of Stella, if you want some of that, need some of that, take down that number because that's so hard to find in the catalog. So there's the number right there. All the adhesives are on pages 116 and 117. I used mini glue dots, dimensionals, and liquid glue tonight. I used some Rub and Buff, which is a non-Stampin' Up! Product today, and I have a couple of little special things I want to show you today. But I am telling you that the combo, this is a combination design between Faith Gallagher, and she's watching right now, and myself. I had a card exchange with my downline. Hi, Annie. And Faith's card was absolutely stunning, and she used this sweet, hi, Mary. And I used her layout and added a few things to make it a little different, but she totally inspired me with her card. So I wanted to give Faith the credit along with a little bit of my design in there. Faith is in my downline, so thank you, Faith, for the beautiful card. Let's see Faith's beautiful card while we're talking about it right now, because at open house, everybody went goo goo gaga over this card. It is she did a fabulous job. Fabulous job. Isn't that gorgeous? Look how cute that card is. Oh, Faith, I'm only telling the truth. It's gorgeous, and so many people loved it. Everybody was touching it and handling it and looking at it and just giving you compliments all over the place. All right, so there's Faith's card. And let me show you my card. Here you go. So you kind of see the same layout there, right? Hi, Florence. Hi, Linda. Let me get the other one here so you can see. I used different dies that are in the same set and a different stamp, which are in the same set, and I embellished a little bit differently than she did, mainly because I didn't have a ribbon that I thought would look as good as this one does, so I changed it up just a little bit. But are these cards not the sweetest cards ever? Thank you. She loves my color choices. Well, you know, the color choices came about two different ways. This card is specifically for someone I know that just had a baby on New Year's Day, and she is, yes, don't you just love it, Lori? Yes, make one tomorrow. Thank you, Florence. And I know Faith's card, Florence was in the swap too, and her card was the bomb. Hi, Susan. The recipient of this card, she likes neutrals like me. All neutrals, though. All neutrals. No color at all. But I added a little bit of color anyway, and I think she's going to like this card. And let's look at the inside, too. Documenting the day her baby was born. Isn't that sweet? And documenting the day comes from the stamp set that you can get for free with a $60 order during celebration, documenting the day. It's great for scrapbooking, which I'm sure you figured out, but you can also add it to your cards. And you all know I love big images, so this was right up my alley. Let's get started making this card. Here's what I need, that beautiful basic beige. This is a scrap. This is also a scrap. And then a 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside of the card. And crumb cake cardstock is the base. And again, I picked that out because it coordinated so well with this designer series paper, which is called Timeless Plaid 6 by 6. There's the number again. And you know, I should show you these plaids before I get going, because you're gonna want these. So what I did was, this is one side and this is one side. So as I go through them, you'll see the opposites. See that? Like that. Okay. So there's one paper on both sides. Here is another, and that's both sides. And there's 4 of each. See what I mean about masculine? You can make some really cute masculine cards. You can make some really neat, beautiful children's cards. You can make spring cards. You can just use it with the other designer series paper that comes in that whole suite. It's just all gorgeous no matter what you use with it. You know, sometimes you have to see this stuff in person to realize. You look at it in the catalog and you're all, But then you see it, hi, Grace. And then you're like, oh, my word. Yes, 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 look at this. And this is the one that I used tonight. Okay. Put these back in the pack. And let's cut down the designer series paper first. I'm going to use my paper trimmer, and I'm going to take this 6 by 6 and I'm going to cut it down to layer size, which is 4 So the edge of my paper is on 4. And then I'm going to turn it the opposite direction, 5 1/4. And that is the standard layer size that I always use for lining my cards. Hi, Viola. So you can see that it fits right on the card perfectly. Now we're going to look at the card like I always teach you, and we're going to see if we can put this down now so we have a step finished, and we can. This ribbon is going around this little strip, which happens to be the leftover that I just cut. Okay, so let's put this down using my liquid glue to do that. And I was teaching a newbie at open house that you just put glue around the edges and then a little bit in the middle. I always leave a little bit off the side so I can put my fingers there and not get glue on my fingers, and then I can just concentrate on framing, getting this in the middle so it's framed by the cardstock. Okay, now we're going to take this piece here. We have it left over, and I think I did a 1/2 inch. So let's cut that down. Go to a 1/2 inch, and I'm going to do that twice. And it's going to be longer than I need, but that's okay. And I have a little piece left over. Okay. Now I still haven't got a new blade on my trimmer. I didn't realize that I was out of new blades. So when this happens to me, I take a sanding block until my new blades arrive, and I just sand it down, which is a hassle, but it's my own fault for not keeping extras here. When I used the last one, I should have immediately ordered more. So the day comes that you need them, you have them, right? It will be on my next order for sure, which I'm placing on the 7th. That is when the new catalog goes live, and so I'm going to order that day, and the new blades will be on there as long as they're not on the not available list, which I hope and pray that they are available. All right, let's look. Oops, this is my card right now. Let's look at the inside of this card. So what I did was took the layer piece, the inside layer piece, and hi Stephanie, love the set, especially the die cuts. I know the frames are amazing, aren't they? And I'm not going to go all the way down because remember I said it's longer than it needs to be, and I'm just going to place it on the edge and all the way to the tippy top. And there it is, and we can turn it over and use our paper snips and cut that down. Okay, then this is another way you could do it, as long as you do a thin line, because it's only a 1/2 inch long paper. And then put this down to the edge. Didn't add any on the DSP, I needed to do that. Put it down, make sure it's straight, which it wasn't, so I'm so glad I use the Tombow glue so I can move it around and get it where I need it. Just turn this over and snip. So then I have another piece of scrap paper. Let's look. This can go in the card now. Okay, so I have another piece of scrap paper, and I made sure that the scrap paper that I was using was the same width as the inside of the card. So that's 4, correct? All right, so let's take that. Hello, Lori. And we're going to take Documenting the Day and our boho blue ink, and I'm gonna ink that up. Well, it's documenting the. Okay, now I'm gonna pull it down so I can see, but I still want to be in camera for you. And I'm going to go up as close as I can to the top of this paper and stamp this down. Holding it down, holding the paper, and then lifting the block straight up. Beautiful, beautiful font. Do you not agree? Just beautiful. Okay, now I'm going to make sure that I put this up against the ledge when I'm cutting, but this is the cut line. We don't want to cut off the bottom of our Y. So I'm going to go up just a little bit. It looks like it's 3/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to cut this off. And I have that ready for me. Okay, then I have this piece left. Day. I'm going to take day. And I'm going to tap. Now this time I have the stamp, the block on my glass mat, and the stamp is looking at me, and I'm tapping the pad to the stamp. And the reason I'm doing that is because the stamp is so big, it's easier for me to do it this way and check my stamp rather than doing it this way and having part of the stamp off of the pad. And I want to get up close and see all the little bubblies? I cleaned off my stamp with a rag, but I want to make sure that I tap and I don't see any lines. And then I'm ready to stamp this on paper. Again, bringing down my paper so I can see where I'm stamping. And on this one, because my paper is 4 inches wide, I'm concentrating on the Y being all the way on the paper, and the D is partially going over on this side. It's a little bit bigger than 4 inches long, but that's okay because the D has a straight edge and you can't even tell. Okay, see there? Okay. Clean off my stamp. And this comes with the glass mat, the chamois does. Clean off my other one while I'm at it. Okay, and these are clean. Now I'm going to go back to my paper trimmer, and I am going to place this in the trimmer into the end of the word is at the cutting channel, and then I'm just going to cut straight up like this. Sanding block again. Okay, let's go to our card now. Documenting is going to go, oops, I didn't sand that one. Documenting is going to go all the way up to the top of the card. But this card is so darn fancy that I wanted to show you how you can even make it a little fancier. So when I cut, I'm going to cut out one for you live here. Hi, Shelley. But here is one of the dies that come in the bundle. This is it right here. And I think it's such a stunning frame, but I wanted to figure out how I can use it to embellish additionally than just using it for the frame. So you're going to say, Bev, really? You're going to cut that all up? Well, I am, because when I run it through the cut and emboss machine, it comes out in 2 pieces. This is the piece where I'm going to stamp the bunny. And notice on my card that this frame is a different color. So if you were going to use 2 different, you wanted your frame to be a different color, this would be extra. And so you would have to run it through again to get your frame a different color. And I don't want this to go to waste. So I'm just going to cut off the top and the bottom. Or you could save the whole thing for another project another time if you aren't using the same color frame. And from Wisconsin, welcome. So then we just add it under like that, pull it down as far or put it up as high as you want. So we want this to put glue on the front. And then we just attach it right in the center of documenting. Again, I'm going to set it down, and if it's not centered, the glue is not dry, so I can move it over. I think it's good, so I'm just going to turn it over and add the top of the documenting the to the top of the layer piece, and I am going to go right over the designer series paper that's already on the card. Now, I could have just stamped documenting the right on the card layer piece, but the E would have been on the plaid, and I don't know if it would have shown up that well. So that's why I'm doing it like this. And then here's the day, and I'm going to push this up closer because I want a little bit of space to sign our name. And I'm going to do the same thing, glue on the front so it will stick to the back of day. And place it centered. Lay it down and see if it's in the right spot. It looks like it is. And so now I can put this down. I hope everybody had a good Christmas and a happy New Year. We certainly had a fabulous Christmas, but we had a very quiet New Year, which is the way we wanted it. That was a choice. We didn't go anywhere and stayed safe, right? It's a crazy world out there. All right, so now we can put this into our card. Around the edges, and a little in the middle. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to cut out. Well, let me stamp the bunny first, and then I'm going to cut out. So let's look at the bunny. We're going to color that in with blends, and so I'm going to use Memento ink, and I chose the little bunny that's in the stamp set, Storybook Friends, tapping on the Memento ink pad. I'm using Memento because it will not run when I use the blends. So here we go. Press down, hold it there, let it soak into the paper. Put your finger on the cardstock, pointer finger here, and then pull your stamp straight up. And you'll have a perfect image every time. Isn't he cute? So cute. Okay, set that aside a second. Let's put it all together. And then I'm going to take this piece and the frame, and I'm going to cut that out for you, just in case there's somebody here that does not know how to use a cut and emboss machine. I say that every time, but it's important for those who either are thinking about getting the machine or don't know what the machine is. This machine is called the Stampin' Up! Cut and Emboss, and it cuts out our dies, cuts it out our cardstock. So I have our cardstock here, lay the die on a scrap piece, put the acrylics. Now all these acrylics and platforms come with the cut and emboss machine as well, so when you purchase it you have everything you need. And then you crank it through and it comes out the other end. And see how the oval pops out of the frame. And then the frame is in the die. So you take your pick tool if you just push on these pieces, it will pop out and you can just pull it away. And you have your pretty frame. Intricate, but falls right out of the die, which is always super nice. Okay, so now I've got a piece of paper towel. I'm gonna lay my frame on there because and this is extra because I used the other one to stamp my bunny. Okay, so see, if I put, let's get the card here. If I left the paper all the same, that's what it would look like, and it still is pretty. But I wanted to be a little fancy. Hi, Julia. And I didn't want to have to go back and cut another one out. I wanted to use this paper. So, hi, Margaret. So I have been using Rub and Buff on my projects on my other page. My other page is called Thrifting Home. And on a lot of my thrifting items, I use Rub and Buff to make things gold. So I was out here making this card, and my daughter walks by. I must give her the credit. And she says, "Oh, Mom, that is a cute card. I wonder if Rub and Buff works on paper." And I stopped what I was doing, and I looked at her. I said, "I wonder." So I ran to my tool basket, and I got some Rub and Buff. And I tried it, and I love it. Now, yes, I could cut out some of my gold paper, some of my copper foil paper, but I would be cutting out this twice, and I'd be using that paper when I can just use a little bit of Rub and Buff and change it. Rub and Buff comes in gold, silver, copper, all the colors. And then I don't have to cut out another one, and I can use the one that came out originally. I use a glove just to try to keep my hands from getting totally filthy. Gold finger. And there we go. This is an antique gold. Put my lid back on my Rub and Buff. And there we go. Great tip, right? Yes, yes, love it. All right, so let's take our little rabbit now, and we're going to color him in. I'm going to start with all my blends and then my Wink Stella. Getting serious now. I'm starting to get a little warm, so I'm taking off my sweater. All right. I am using the light Pool Party, and I'm going to use the fine end. Whoa, I was going to use the fine end. What happened here? My blends are so old. I hate to say it. I think I have to buy new ones. Okay, well, I'm going to have to see if I can use the white end and be very careful. So blends can bleed. So I'm going to start with the pockets just to be, and the patch, just to be inside of his little jacket. And then I'm going to let it bleed to the edges of his jacket. Hi, Vicki. So let me hold it up close so you can see what I mean. See how I didn't even get close to the edge? I'll do it again, and it's already at the edge. So if I would have colored all the way on the edge, it would bleed out farther because they're blends. They're meant to bleed in with each other and blend. There we go. So I'm going to just color in until I get it how I want it, leaving some white spaces, and I'm not even going to go light and dark and blend another color. I'm just going to do this really, really light. Now remember, I told you my friend, she wants everything. She's boho, so she wants all neutral colors, but I'm gonna use a little bit of blue anyway. I think she'll like it. Okay, so I'm just using the eraser and lightening it up in spots. And there we have the nice little jacket. Then I'm gonna go to, that's the dark crumb cake. This is the light crumb cake. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm gonna start away from the edge. Told you my blends are all old. I need new ones. Dominga, hello, welcome. So I have to go to the point, and I'm just gonna color around the edges, trying not to get too close and leaving some little white spaces. Okay, let's do that again here. Leaving the bottom of it, hi Irene, the bottom of his feet. I'm not coloring them in, I will color the top. His little hands, one hand shows. Go in there, and his outside of his ear. Okay. Now I'm going to take the dark and add a little bit of dark in there. Then I will go back to the light and blend those in. Yep, that's all I want to do. It's real easy. Really just dotting it. Then I'm going to blend those two together. What color did you use for the bunny? This is crumb cake, light and dark. I'm using the light right now to blend the dark to make it not so dark. Blend it in and make it softer. Okay. All right, so let me hold them up. I know you're close, but I just want you to see them really good. Cute. Okay, we're gonna take red. This is light cherry cobbler. And literally this radish is so tiny, I just really do dots and let it bleed. See how it's bleeding? That wasn't a question. I was like, you want to see how it's bleeding, and then add more if you need to or not. Hey, Patricia, happy birthday. Guys, mind if I sing happy birthday? If you do mind, close your ears because I'm not a good singer. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Patricia. Happy birthday to you and many more. Yay! So I literally dotted the green in the foliage of the radish, and then I noticed that yes, there is, his second hand is showing, and that will happen as you start to color in. You'll notice other places you may have missed, so let's color in that other hand. You're welcome, sister. Usually we would spend our birthdays together, wouldn't we? But she moved out of state, so we can't do that now. Here's a little bit of pink that I'm going to lightly put in the bottom of his foot, the inside of his ear, just very lightly, maybe a little bit there. Okay, and then if you want it to be lighter, you can go to the eraser and just blend it in a little bit lighter. I call I think of the eraser kind of like a bleach pen. And good evening, and it's just so stinking adorable, crazy adorable. one last move on this guy is the Wink Stella. And I'm just going to add some Wink Stella to his jacket. It gives it a very subtle glitter. You can let it dry a minute and add more if you want it to be seen a little better. Okay. I don't know if on camera you can see the glitter or not. Probably not. All right, so now we're going to place this in the frame. And I just cannot get over how adorable it all is. We're going to get to our dimensionals now. So let's turn. Well, I'm not going to turn it over yet. You know why? I want to make sure that I got it in there straight. So I'm going to take a dimensional and I'm going to do this. Okay, so the dimensionals have straight edges, right? Like an octagon shape. You want to get the straight edge on the frame so it's not seen, and then put the oval over that. Once you get one in place like that, then you can do the others. So again, the straight edge of the dimensional onto the frame so it will hold it. I don't want to take the backing off yet, so just concentrate on getting the straight edges onto the frame and then the rest onto the oval. And I'm going to put two more there because I want it to be very sturdy. Okay, we can leave the backings on right now. Ta-da, isn't he pretty? Because we're not quite ready to put this down, but it's going to go right there. All right, so we had this piece that we cut from cutting this down, but I'm going to use the opposite side, so I need my, hey Lori, I need my sanding block again to sand that up. And this is kind of flimsy, right? So let's go to our scrap box. When I cut, look at me, you guys know I don't cut, Lori cuts for me. We save some of the scraps, not all. And that will make your designer series paper not so flimsy. So I can just glue this down. It doesn't have to be the same width. It's just going to be a backing. So let me get my glue. And I'm just going to put glue on the white. Can be any color, scrap cardstock. And then I'm going to lay this piece down. Okay, and then snip off the excess. All right, now we're going to go to our 2325 in color jute trim. There's the number. And we're going to take the blue from the pack. See these colors. I saw this color. I think I saw all these colors in this paper, so it's just going to just look good with all of them. And mini glue dots. I'm at the end of the road on this one. I'm not going to try to take them off that cardboard in case they give me any trouble. So let's get a new pack. And I'm going to put this jute on the mini glue dot and press down hard. And get the mini glue dot to come up onto the jute. And then I'm just going to set it back here and bring it around. Now I know the length. Take my ribbon scissors. What are ribbon scissors? They're just our snips that we only use for ribbon. Okay, so when you see snips in the catalog, those are the right ones. You just get two pair, one for paper and one for ribbon. And then let's wrap that around. Okay, that will hold. Now we can place this down. Now with the plaid, I always look for a line that I want to line this up with, just to help me get it straight. Then I'm going to lay this back down and see if that's all good. I think it is. Okay, so we're just going to take our glue again, and we're going to glue this down. No questions so far? Okay, I line up my card with my glass mat lines, and I line up my cardstock with my plaid lines, and then everything should be good. Now I can take the backing off of all these dimensionals. And notice that I've marked them all so I can tell that they have backing on them still. And then I'm just going to make sure I don't go off the edge of the card with my frame and set that down. Okay, we're going to go to our pearls. And these are antique pearls. This is antique gold, so it all just really goes together, right? Flip up the lid and you've got the smaller ones. You take your pick tool and just place one here and another one about there, and then the third one is going to go in my jute flower. Okay. Also, I want you guys to be aware that I don't open my gems from the package opening here. I cut the side open, and I just find it so much easier to get them back in their pack without messing with that sticky that's here to keep that sealed. So they just slip in and out very easily. Another little hint for tip for you. Okay. So now we're going to work on our glass mat with the jute. Before I do that, I'm going to take my bow punch. And do I have any more little scrap? I don't. So I'm going to have to take another, I use it all up, so I'm going to take another piece of basic beige and cut that in half. And then I will start this as a scrap piece. Okay, so I'm going to cut out this sprig, put this back in my box for scrap. And then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut off two. Good, good, good. I'm going to cut off two little leaves for my flower. Now I would normally make this green. I really would. It would coordinate with the green on the radish. But like I said, my friend likes no color. She likes everything beige, off-white, you know, the neutrals. So I'm trying to stay as neutral as I can. It would also look really cute if you threw it into a folder and had these embossed. But we're not going to do that with this. Okay. So now let's get my jute and my mini glue dots. And we're going to put a mini glue dot on the edge of the jute, and we're going to stick it down onto the glass mat. Now, you don't want to use your silicone mat for this, because the silicone mat, it'll keep coming up, because the silicone mat is meant for your glue to be able to be removed easily, right? So I'm just going to spin this around into a circle And my glass mat's gonna hold it down for me. I'm gonna take a chance and cut this off. See how big I get my flower. And then I'm gonna pick it up, making sure I grab the center, and I'm gonna tuck the end in under there. And there is my little jute flower. Now, I want to make sure that this doesn't come unraveled. So I'm going to take a couple of more mini glue dots. And I'm just going to set them on there. And that's going to hold this jute all together. Okay, so let's put that down and put one more onto our card. And then take our little round flower and set it there. I'm going to take another one of my pearls. Remember, we need to use odd numbers. I mean, you don't need to, like they say. Who made that rule up? I don't know, but I think it's a good one. And we're going to set that there to give our flower a center and push it down. And it's kind of sunken in there. And then I'm going to take my leaves and put them on a mini glue dot as well. Oh, that's double mini glue dot, so I don't want that one. Hi, Sandy, welcome. Okay, and then let's put the leaves in a little different area this time. See what it looks like. We can always change it. Hi, Rosemary. Yeah, no, I don't like it like that. So back to the original plan. Okay. So now welcome, baby. Good thing I cut that other scrap, right? I needed more. So let's grab this, and we're going to take welcome, baby. Also in the stamp set, which I'm so glad, because I don't need baby cards very often, but when you do, you know? And it's like, oh. So now I'll have one to give away to one of you lucky winners. If you've commented, you might win this card. And then one to give to my friend. There we go. And I stamped it down towards the edge of this paper because I need to cut it out with my trimmer. And I want to cut out as little as I have to, so the straight edge is already there for me. Out. Thank you for the hearts. I love it when I see hearts. I love that, knowing that you like what you're seeing. And then we're going to take this and cut it down as well. And Simple Simon. So the layout that Faith shared just really is cute with this set. Stick it under the flower a little bit and place it on here. I could make it a little narrower still. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, thank you. Want it a little narrower. Guess it really doesn't matter, but I like it a little narrower. Yeah, even this side. Not too much. You don't want to cut the words off. Okay. All right, so now I just need my glue again. Thank you, Bev. Thank you, Vicky. You love the jute flower. Yay. I'm going to just put a little bit of, let me put it here. Stick it under the flower, but we don't want to block welcome. We want to be able to read it. And then press it down. Okay. And there we have it. And then when we open it up, it's just as cute on the inside as it is. Well, yeah, that's the way you can see it best, as it is on the outside. So remember, if you spend $60, you can get this documenting the day for free as your Stampin' Up! Choice item. Every $60 you get to choose an item. So just get what you can. You have all of January and all of February, and you can get some cute, cute freebies. So let me show you the face one more time. These colors are in the paper. So this is the paper that coordinates with it, the 12 by 12, and it coordinates with the plaid paper. So let me put both of them here so you can see. I did this one because we've got a little boy that's his mom's gonna receive this card. This one could be for a little girl. Does the buff have to dry? You know what? That buff dries so quick. It's like fast, like, I don't know, a couple of minutes. No, it doesn't really need to dry. You can buff it, finish coloring in your rabbit, and grab it, and you're good. It's real quick. When will the mini catalogs come out? They're out and they're in the mail, Karen. You will be getting yours soon, but I know it's not going to be by the 7th that you get yours. It'll probably be the 8th. So you can go online and look. I'm so sorry I got behind in that, but you will be getting yours. Okay, so anybody else that's out of state, you will be getting yours soon if you're my customer. If you're not my customer and you want one, let me know. What I do is you can pay me $5 and I will mail you the catalogs, but if you place an order, then the catalogs are free. And if you're a customer of mine, the catalogs are free because you've already placed orders with me. All right, ladies, thank you. Take care. We'll see you on Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. Bye-bye.